As more Americans seek mental health treatment, the healthcare system and lawmakers can't keep up. In California, the largest mental institution in the state is the Los Angeles County Jail. For many Californians battling a severe mental illness, the road towards long-term care begins with a stop behind bars. Here's a look at how the mental health system is failing some of the most vulnerable Californians.
Kept tapping me on the shoulder. Mom, look at that white car. That white car's following us. That's the government. That's the CIA.
Joanna Jergens noticed something wrong with her son, Jeffrey, on a family trip to Tahoe.
This is him in junior high.
He was 17. It was his first psychotic break and the beginning of his years-long struggle with schizoaffective disorder. Over the next 4 years, Jeffrey landed in jail frequently.
I remember saying to the judge in El Dorado County, I need help. He needs help, and I don't know what to do. But we're waiting for a disaster to happen. But he said, the law, my hands, there's nothing I can really do.
His time in jail and on the streets gave him an unlikely friend.
Mental Health 12. I'm en route to
Officer Michelle Lazark.
I saw Jeffrey sitting on a bench. He didn't have any clothes on. He was all disheveled. And I said, hey, are you a new guy? And he says, well, yes, I am. How do you know? And I said, because this is my beat and I've never met you before. Hey, Donna, so you were out of state for a while. What happened with that?
Over 90% of patrol officers encounter about 6 people experiencing a mental health crisis each month, according to the U.S. Department of Justice.
Okay, great. This is going to be great. You're going to get treatment. You're going to need the help you need. You're going to get housed. And they just can't keep it together.
And sometimes encounters with law enforcement makes things worse. In 2012, California Highway Patrol officers apprehended Jeffrey Jergens after he led them on a high-speed chase in a stolen car. A federal lawsuit his family filed alleged that officers beat him with batons, leaving him with a broken hand and traumatic brain injury. Although the officers kept their jobs, charges were dropped against Jergens and he received a $1 million settlement. 2 years later, he stole another car. That arrest changed everything.
The judge was trying to talk to him, and then my son just started yelling out that, who the F do you think you are? And I'm Jesus Christ. I mean, he was having a break in the room.
The judge witnessed what Joanna had been saying for years. Jeffrey was sick. Instead of jail, he was sent to the Atascadero State Mental Hospital, where he's been for the past 5 years. In Antioch, California, a group of parents and families share the frustration of a judicial system not designed for mental health cases.
Mental illness does not discriminate based on ethnicity, culture, or even wealth.
Every month, Gigi Crowder opens her home to families trying to navigate the complex mental health system.
We're here talking about mental health, and that's my 27-year-old son.
LaTanya Dandy's son, Christopher, had his first psychotic break at 19. Since then, when Dandy has turned to law enforcement for help, officials say their hands are tied.
So they say, ma'am, we can't do anything because it'll violate his civil rights.
In 1967, Governor Ronald Reagan slashed the state budget for mental hospitals and signed a law making it difficult to compel people to get treatment. More than 50 years later, it's that law that often ties officers and family members' hands.
I'm like, civil rights, your officer just heard him screaming like somebody was attacking him, and I'm on the phone with them a few seconds ago. They was like, well, we can't do anything.
But Dandy's son was now in more desperate straits. At the time, he was homeless. For those with mental health issues, finding affordable housing is nearly impossible. For the few who have found a place to live, the options are dwindling. Nationally, about a third of people with a serious mental illness are homeless.
I hate to be homeless again. I was homeless about 20 years before I came here.
Tom Gray has schizophrenia. For the past 11 years, the Vietnam vet has lived at this San Francisco boarding care home. Owners of Palarca's rest home are selling the house and retiring. Buyers are interested in the property, but not the business. Since 2012, more than a quarter of residential facilities in San Francisco serving people under 60 have closed their doors.
Not knowing where I'm going to go next. That's how I feel, kind of lost.
Gray has found a temporary house in San Francisco, but he will have to move again in a few months. This year, there's an effort to boost the number of people who can use Medi-Cal dollars to live in boarding care homes.
There isn't a big political action committee well-funded for mentally ill people, okay? It doesn't exist.
State Senator Jim Bell of San Jose created the state's first mental health caucus. He's trying to not only increase housing options, but also create avenues for the judicial system to deal with those with mental health issues.
All rise. Department 61 is now in
It's mental health court.
The Honorable Judge Stephen Manley is presiding.
Our jails are overcrowded. Our prisons are overcrowded. The crime rate has really not changed dramatically, yet we have more and more people incarcerated, and so we have to do something different.
Instead of jail time, Judge Stephen Manley orders people to take their medication, stay sober, and sends some to community treatment programs.
You're not in jail anymore. See, it's so much better to breathe the clean air. Just keep it up, okay?
While Judge Manley works to keep people out of prisons and state hospitals, for people like Jeffrey Jergens, the treatment and structure at the hospital is often the best option.
It's good and bad to say that your kid is happy in a state hospital.
Once a month, Joanna makes this 4-hour drive to visit her son.
I'm grateful to where he is. It's unfortunate it took what it took to get there. It's really unfortunate, but he probably wouldn't be alive today, or he'd be in a prison somewhere.
This year, the state will spend more than $1 billion for mental health services like housing, early detection, and increased training for law enforcement. For CalMatters, I'm Veranda Lyons.